Feel the adrenaline. Witness the epic clashes. Get ready for the passion and excitement. UAE Pro League. Tonight to Tuesday. Live on HOY International Business Channel. Take a tour of Europe. Learn all about the lifestyles and cultures. Keep up with the trends and broaden your horizons. Euromax. Saturday night at 7 o'clock on HOY International Business Channel. Cultural exploration and social observation. Learn about modern Germany and its creative minds and new ideas. Arts 21. Saturday night at 7:30 on HOY International Business Channel. Appreciate the beautiful and gorgeous clothing, full of glamour and fascination. Keep up with fashion and trends with Fashion TV.
Hello, Fashion TV. We love you.
I love the Fashion TV.
And I'm really excited to see the show.
And discovering wonderful, intelligent women.
Fashion TV, Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. on HOY International Business Channel. Every shot, every moment designed to ignite your soul. Liga Professional Tournament 2026. Monday, live on HOY International Business Channel.
The hantavirus-hit cruise ship starts evacuating passengers under strict preventive measures. WHO says it is not another COVID. Mother's Day brings smiles and gifts, but florists and restaurants see less buzz. And Taipo marks Empress of Heaven's birthday with a colorful parade and vibrant folk dances. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Ju. The hantavirus-stricken cruise ship Hondias has arrived in Spain's Canary Islands, where passengers will be evacuated under strict preventive measures after weeks at sea. The World Health Organization stressed that the public health risk remains low and insisted this is not another COVID-19 outbreak. Cheryl Yun reports.
The cruise ship MV Hondias has dropped anchor off the Canary Islands early on Sunday, with passengers transferred ashore via smaller boats. Medical teams have boarded the ship to run tests on passengers and crew. Repatriation flights are standing by to return passengers and crew to their respective home countries. The United Kingdom, the United States, France, Germany, Belgium and Ireland have arranged dedicated flights for their citizens, who will face further quarantine on arrival. The European Union has also prepared 2 aircraft for other European passengers. The WHO has classified all passengers as high-risk contacts and recommended 42 days of active monitoring. Officials said the risk to the public and the people of the Canary Islands remains low, with no one on board showing symptoms of hantavirus. While Spanish authorities' decision to receive the ship has triggered continued protests by local port workers over safety fears, the WHO reiterated that the current situation is not like COVID-19.
The concern is legitimate, because we have all experienced because of COVID, especially in 2020. And that trauma is still in our minds. So people will have questions, people will have concerns. And that's what I try to address in my message to the people of Tenerife. We hear you, we understand. But the situation is much better now.
8 cases have been reported so far since the outbreak began on a cruise, including 3 deaths, with 5 confirmed as hantavirus. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Back to Hong Kong, on Mother's Day, many families showered moms with flowers, gifts, and quality time. But for florists and restaurants, the celebrations felt a little quieter than last year. Cheryl Yun again has the story.
It's a beloved tradition for many to send bouquets as a heartfelt thank you on Mother's Day. Roses and carnations brighten up flower markets, while eager children bustled about with surprises for their moms. I bought flowers for my mother and grandmother, said one boy proudly, clutching 2 bouquets. A young girl shared a particularly sweet note, thanking her mom for being the best person to turn to, as she is always there whenever she needs her. Meanwhile, one man described his annual tradition, hunting for the most beautiful bouquets for the 3 mothers in his family because mothers work so hard. While foot traffic was steady, florists noted that most of their revenue comes from pre-orders. This year, however, business was noticeably slower than last year. Beyond gifts, many families chose to celebrate with a special meal together. My daughter gave me flowers and treated me to a lovely meal, so I am really happy. I'm looking forward to more celebrations tonight, said this mother with a smile. Another mother radiated contentment, saying she had no special wishes for Mother's Day because she already has everything she needs in life to be happy. Restaurants saw strong turnout, with one owner reporting near full bookings for both lunch and dinner. Still, overall business fell short of last year's figures. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Tai Po came alive with color and cheers as the Ting Hao Festival Parade took to the streets, featuring folk dances and drawing a crowd of 20,000. Jamie Liu tells us more.
Led by a secondary school marching band, around 1,200 participants set off from the Tin Hao Temple Feng Shui Square, winding through the district in a lively celebration. The parade featured over 50 teams of performers, including young dancers. One of them was Elisa, who was happy to walk around the neighborhood and dance with friends. A member of an umbrella dance group said they wished for health and smooth sailing for fellow Tai Po residents. Another folk performer was proud of her traditional dance and vowed to pass on the tradition to future generations. Humanoid robots also joined the spectacle, adding a new twist to a centuries-old tradition. The event attracted many curious onlookers, including families. Taking advantage of the good weather, a mother living in Tai Po came to see the parade with her daughter. The Tin Hao Festival of Tai Po Old Market celebrates the birthday of Tin Hao, or Empress of Heaven, and has a history of more than 300 years. The festivities include a parade, worship of deity, and Thanksgiving opera performances. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Chen Chao turned up the bus early today with a lively preview of its iconic Bun Festival, offering visitors a sneak peek of the island's signature excitement. Residents got a head start on the fun to try sculling the famous bun tower and snap up iconic peace buns ahead of the main festivities. Though the festival officially begins on May 24th, the island is already buzzing. Ahead of the big showdown, a 14-meter-high practice tower drew crowds of climbing enthusiasts, with even children getting in on the action to test their skills. On the day of what is often called one of the world's quirkiest festivals, the highlight will be the Pusik, or Floating Colors Parade. In this dazzling spectacle, young children dressed as deities or modern political figures appear to float mid-air atop hidden steel frames, a traditional ritual performed to ward off evil spirits. This young performer was particularly enchanted by her costume, already expressing her desire to return next year. Of course, no trip to Chen Chao is complete without a ping on bun, or peace bun. To broaden their appeal, local bakeries are diversifying their traditional menus. Alongside the classic lotus seed and red bean fillings, a new black sesame flavor is joining the lineup this year, offering a fresh twist to entice a younger generation of snackers. For those wanting a lasting memento, the buns are now available as plush toys, allowing visitors to take home a soft symbol of peace and prosperity. Residents facing eviction for the HOY Hachun development have issued an urgent plea for a deadline extension, claiming many have yet to be rehoused despite a looming cutoff. Quentin Yang reports.
More than 100 affected residents from rural villages of Yiguan and Tingsam gathered in a protest. They said they were only notified in late April of the May 20th deadline, a timeline they called unreasonable and unfair. This resident of 30 years questioned the government's logic in asking families to pack valuables and move first and return for the rest later, rather than granting a proper grace period to resettle. The situation is more complicated for this grandmother, whose family faces separation as her granddaughter's age, just months shy of 18, renders them currently ineligible for joint transition housing. The government's only solution so far has been a temporary shelter. Others reported that, while they have been promised units, the flats remain under repair or pending final approval, leaving little time for a physical move. In a social media post yesterday, the Northern Metropolis Coordination Office said residents were notified as early as 2022, as the office operated on a people-oriented basis. Officials attributed delays in housing allocations to incomplete paperwork or late submissions from individual households. While the government insists it has already granted discretionary extensions to ensure the development project stays on the track, residents argue that discretion means little if they're forced onto the streets. Quentin Ya, Cable News.
Russian President Vladimir Putin hailed the partnership with China the most important anchor of global stability, as he used a high-stakes Victory Day event to address global diplomacy, signaling a warmer relationship with the United States and finally an end to the 4-year-old war with Ukraine. Quentin Yang reports.
Speaking after a military parade, Putin told reporters that close coordination between Russia and China has become undoubtedly a factor of deterrence and stability in global affairs, particularly as international arms control treaties have largely collapsed. Hailing China, Russia's largest trade and economic partner, Putin revealed that the two sides are nearing agreement on new oil and gas projects, with further cooperation possible in renewables, high-tech sectors, and trade. He expects to sign related deals during an upcoming visit to China. As U.S. President Donald Trump prepares to visit China this Thursday, Putin welcomed dialogue between Washington and Beijing, noting their ties shape the global economy. He added that if both sides cooperate without illegal sanctions and economic tensions, Russia would benefit from a stable and constructive relationship. On Ukraine, Putin said the 4-year war is coming to an end and expressed readiness to meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Moscow or a third country, but only to sign a final peace agreement. He also thanked Trump for supporting a ceasefire and prisoner swap, calling his approach sincere, and said Russia has submitted a list of 500 prisoners for exchange, but is still awaiting Kyiv's response. Quentin Ya, Cable News.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing a high-stakes leadership showdown as a Labour lawmaker issued a resign or be challenged ultimatum following the party's catastrophic local election collapse. Quentin Yang reports.
The clock is ticking for Starmer after Labour's worst local results in decades, losing more than 1,400 council seats. More than 30 Labour members of Parliament have demanded Starmer to exit. Leading the charge, former Foreign Office Minister Catherine West told the BBC she will trigger a leadership contest on Monday unless a senior cabinet figure step in to replace Starmer. West said Stammer has handled foreign policy well, but faltered on domestic issues and failed to curb the rise of Reform UK. To force a ballot, she needs 81 MPs, or 20% of the parliamentary party. She claimed to have 10 firm backers, but insiders said the scale of defeat has left dozens more privately seething and ready to act. Downing Street has called for unity. Cabinet Office Minister Nick Thomas-Symonds warned that frequent leadership changes only breed instability, while Stammer insisted he will not walk away. Even so, attention is shifting to potential successors. Names circulating include Health Secretary Wes Streeting, former Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, and Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham. On the party's left, some MPs want Energy Secretary Ed Miliband, a former Labour and opposition leader, to return. To salvage his post, Stammer has brought in two veteran figures, former Prime Minister Gordon Brown and former Deputy Leader Harriet Harman as advisors. The move is widely seen as an attempt to keep Brown's protégés, Burnham, Miliband, and Rayner, from breaking ranks while their mentor remains inside the tent. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
China powered into the final of the World Team Table Tennis Championships with a 3-1 victory over France, setting up a title clash against Japan.